The Nomad life is back. Yes. The gyms and the showers have reopened up in most states. Okay. In most states in America, the gyms and the showers within those gyms have opened up for the most part. You have to check in your specific state, in your specific town. But yesterday, I called the gyms that I normally visit in South Florida, the Planet Fitness gyms, and they said, yes, they have started to reopen. They're reopened, not 24/7, but they're going to eventually get to 24/7. And for the Planet Fitness gyms, at least, the showers are open, and the only difference is, like, now they give you a spray bottle, like after you're done showering, to spray the shower down to disinfect it. But that's a big win. Why? Because during the past 2 months, due to the coronavirus, what nomads have experienced, especially those who live out of their car or van, not a self-contained RV, what we've experienced is our biggest resource is the gym, because it has the shower facilities, okay? And no one ever anticipated that we would go into a national lockdown where every gym in America would be totally shut down. I mean, that you could never think that would happen. So, but it did happen. And thus, for the past 2 months, nomads have had to either go to a truck stop or take a sponge bath. And that has been really their only option if you didn't have a self-contained RV. And when that resource closed, when the gyms and the showers closed, for many people, it caused them to get off the road, understandably so. And some people may have given up the nomad life forever. Because what I have always stated is, once you give up something, it's very hard to go back to it, because life is like a constant flow. And it's always like forward pulling. You know, time is like a river. You can never touch the same spot twice. So it's not a bad thing to not go back to something if you decided it's no longer for you. And it was not a bad thing for nomads to get off the road if they found that the road is not really pleasant enough for their life based on the lack of resources. They decide to either rent a short-term rental, or some people even bought a house. What a disaster. All right, let's pray for them. But I always tell you guys, if you need to get off the road, in my opinion, do a short-term rental, Airbnb, something like that. Obviously, if you're in the housing market and you've been patiently waiting and the right house comes up, then if you want to buy, that's certainly an option too. But that you have to take your time with, because that's a huge commitment. But short-term rental is good. And now some of those people that are doing the short-term rental, they can evaluate their state, the towns within their state, and see if those gyms and showers have opened up, if they want to get back on the road, or what many nomads are going to be faced with now, some that got off the road, is, do I want to go back to being a full-time nomad? Is it worth it? Is it a good quality of life for me at this point? Has life changed? Has the river flowed past that point in my life? You know, being a full-time nomad has a lot of pros and it has some cons. And one thing is, you never fully feel settled. And there's always something pulling you to be static in one sense, you know. So, again, the nomadic life, the full-time nomadic life, is not suited for the majority of people. And even for the people it's suited for, there's still a discipline and an inconvenience. It's an inconvenience to live full-time on the road without a self-contained RV, because, look, it's not the convenience of a house or an apartment and going back and having a fixed routine. And that there's something to be said for that, because humans are creatures of habit. So living on the road is like, you know, you have to be very adaptive. And I may not live on the road forever. I share that with you guys. And, you know, I don't know. I think those are really kind of like, now looking forward, what's going to happen next. But one is, I want to make the video to say, look, check with your area and your gym to see if the showers are open up. Don't just see if the gyms open up, see if the showers are open up too. Call them. Because I had some gyms last week that were open, but the showers were not open, okay? And I'm currently in New Jersey, okay, visiting my mother, and the gyms are still shut down here. I don't think they'll be open for a couple more weeks or so. So, again, I usually am in Florida. The gyms in the areas I was in are open. New Jersey isn't. So there's still, something you have to look in your area. But that resource now being opened up puts nomads in a position where, one, if they are currently full-time on the road, then they're breathing a sigh of relief and excitement. If they're in a short-term rental, they have a decision to make. And I think they should give it thought. I don't think if you were a full-time nomad and you started to do a short-term rental, I don't think you should just automatically go back on the road. Like everything in life, I think you should give it some thought. Is your life better or worse living on the road? Right now, if you're renting an apartment, is your life better or worse than it was? And if it's better, look, maybe keep short-term renting. Maybe you want to get into a long-term lease. Maybe you want to buy a house. There's going to be no perfect answer. Okay, and I can't give an answer to everyone because everyone has their own life. But everything in life changes. We don't like change as humans. It's true. We struggle with that. I want to do a video about that because I remember when my parents got divorced and they were looking at the house we grew up in, and years later it got knocked down. Okay, and it was very mentally damaging for them to see the house their children grew up in no longer be there. Everything had changed forever. And as you get older, it's harder to realize that is forever gone. Something that you once knew and had a level of joy with. So, but it's part of life, guys. It sucks. It's part of life, though. So let that go. Live in the moment. Evaluate your life. What are your goals? Look at your goals. What's your personality? Know yourself. Understanding yourself is the key to all decisions. When in doubt, keep it simple. Short-term commitment or no commitment. And obviously think about your health and well-being. But let me know in the comments below. Are you still full-time on the road? Are the showers open? Are you getting back on the road? Or are you never going back to the road? Other than that, guys, that's the daily vlog. I'll see you in my daily live feeds. Check you out there. If you want to be a member and part of our members-only live chat on Sunday, click that blue join button, and I will see you guys in the next one. All right? Peace and love.